What up, y'all? I'm Christopher Markland, and welcome to episode 7 of Ready to Love, the reality TV show on the OWN network. So please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. So let's get into it.
This week, y'all are about to meet these fellas' exes.
So this week, the ladies are in control, and you know this episode is filled with drama because they are going to be meeting the guy's ex. That, I just couldn't even imagine somebody meeting my ex and the stuff that she would say, but it was a pretty interesting episode.
Tandy's gonna meet my ex-girlfriend today.
You need some help?
Oh, no, I got this. Latasha is very laid-back, reserved. Tandy is very, raw, so I could be playing with fire. I really don't know, but, hey, I like to play with fire.
I got the feeling that Latasha, Mario's ex, has the same kind of laid-back personality that Reva has. If you notice, Reva's real controlled. She's real centered, even though you can tell that there's a lot bubbling under the surface. I've learned that, it's been my experience that those type of personalities really don't open up as much because, hell, they're controlled as far as keeping things internal. So that's probably, why Reva hasn't opened up to Mario as much as, say, Tandy has based on the same time frame.
Hey!
Hello!
What's going on, Miss Lady?
I still have the strongest connection with Mario. Probably not going to change anytime soon either. But he's definitely somebody that stimulates me in a way that a lot of men haven't.
Man, Tandy has been feeling Mario damn near from day one. And because of her personality, she's gotten Mario to open up about his past relationships, his current situation, and also his future plans. And in the same token, Mario has gotten Tandy to do the same, which is why they've connected as well as they have. Also with Mario's he's got a very steady personality. And when you compare that to Tandy's more frenetic one, where you can just tell that she's just that ball of energy, just a big personality, it balances them out. And that's what makes them a really good couple.
This is Tasha. This is Tandy.
Tasha, Tandy, pleasure to meet you. So are you, lady. Thank you. I'm actually looking forward to
That was a very interesting look that Tandy kind of gave. It's like, okay. I'm not sure if that's because she just wasn't really expecting the hug as a greeting. It's a very warm thing to do when you hug somebody, even if it's a church hug. But also maybe she just wasn't thinking that Latasha was Mario's type.
How long ago did you all date?
December or was it January?
You broke up with me in December.
Oh, you broke up with him?
Yeah.
Can I ask why?
There's certain things as simple as nail polish. I learned he doesn't like blue nail polish. So he's like, I don't like that. I'm like, okay. And he literally was calling different nail salons so we could get it changed.
You gotta be kidding me.
I wanted to get it changed. I like my lady to look a certain way.
Mario has shown a propensity to be controlling. Y'all remember this, right?
Tandy says, I'm a squirter. Now, I knew she was talking about the water gun, but as a man, when we hear a woman say she's a squirter, they kind of rub me the wrong way.
Tandy, you're bad. You done messed so many minds up saying you're a squirter.
I really feel like I need to just pull her to the side and just see what's on your mind. Why are you making so many sexual references? This gotta stop, because you making me look crazy right now.
All right. Now, I'm not saying that any man should not voice his displeasure at something that he doesn't like. If you don't like it, say so, and by all means, do so respectfully. What I am, or more like what I do take issue with is, if you don't like something, say, I don't care if it's the color of her nail polish or her being overly flirty at a pool party, is then you trying to change that behavior because you think it should go a certain way. I don't like that blue nail polish, it should be red. Or I don't like how you're behaving this way, you should act that way. That is the fine line between voicing displeasure and being controlling.
It's just certain things that I don't like, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna express it.
Ditto.
A lot of times we see something in our significant other that we don't like, or they may do something that we don't care for. I'm a firm believer in verbalizing it, saying, hey, I don't like X, I don't like when you did Y, so that way both of y'all can come to some kind of understanding or some kind of agreement. I don't care if it's a safe word or something so that the other party knows what's going on. Because if you don't say something, what happens then is you internalize that displeasure and it builds and builds and builds until sooner or later, like a Coke bottle shaking up, it's going to pop off. Or if you keep it inside, it's just going to build resentment towards that person. And then you're going to look for the exit. One thing I like is that Mario has, whether you agree with him or not, he said, hey, I don't like the blue nail polish. Or he said, hey, I don't like how you are, acting. And that to me speaks volumes. How you handle it though, that's a different story, but at least start the conversation so that the other person knows that there's a problem.
In past relationships, I have been told that I am demanding. I've been told that I'm controlling.
See, that wouldn't work with me anyway, if you were. Trust me, I am a very strong, dominant personality.
If one person says something, you can ignore it. Whatever. If two people say it, you can probably still ignore it. It may just be a conspiracy, people coming together to say something against you. Yeah, okay. But if 3, 4, 5 and people keep saying the same thing, then there's some truth in that. So you need to listen to what people are saying. I'm not saying change your behavior because of what this person say. No, be true to yourself. However, if several people are pointing out your flaws, then you may need to listen. Also, there have been plenty of strong, dominant women who have been broken down because they've stayed in a bad relationship because they think they can handle it. Oh, ain't nobody gonna do that to me. How many people do you know? How many men and women, strong, people who are, internally you'd think, wow, look at them, but they've been broken down because they've been in a bad relationship. A bad relationship is or can be death by 1,000 paper cuts. The old thing where, it's just a cut here, a nick there, and pretty soon you're going to bleed out.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, work in progress.
I'm working on it. And I know I got to do better, whoever I'm with.
A couple of reviews ago, I spoke about the need for them to have counselors on the show. Just because you're ready to love doesn't mean that you are able to love, and it doesn't mean that you're prepared to love. Having somebody to walk you through the journey, because everybody on this show was in some kind of serious relationship. Maybe it was a marriage for 6 years or a long-term relationship for 4. If you have come out of a relationship and now you're trying to get into a new one, until you fix some of the things in the past and are able to cast away the baggage of that old relationship, and quite honestly, like my therapist always says, no matter where you go, there you are. So until you fix who you are, you're going to be the same person causing the same drama. So I love the fact that Mario is like, hey, I'm a work in progress. I'm trying to do better. Also, Tanya was like, hey, you know what? She's there for him. She acknowledges the fact that he's making progress. So that right there is the start of being ready to love on both sides.
So what's up with the other woman? Why is there 2?
I have made a connection with Reva. Me and Reva, we have a lot in common.
I'm not sure what her first clue was. It might have been that camera crew. Who knows? But it's a reality show. And the concept behind the reality show is that the men and the women are dating multiple people. Of course he's going to have a connection with another person. That's just the show. I get tired of saying anyway.
So do you know her?
I know her very well, yes. I've known her for 5 years.
Whew, there were a lot of revelations this show, but that was probably the biggest one. A 5-year friendship, man. I'm not sure why that wasn't revealed earlier, between Mario and Tandy. This goes back to something I said last episode, and it happened again. It's going to happen again as well. What kind of conversations are they having? You hear, "Ooh, I'm feeling him." It's like, okay, yeah, that person may look good or they may make you feel good, but if y'all aren't having these conversations, some of this stuff, and I get it, reality show drama, I get it, I do, but that's where having these serious, solid conversations, not just vapid ones about, "Ooh, what you do at work today?" or, "Girl, you look good," or "Dude, have these conversations because that's where things come out, and then you can figure out how to work through them.
Initially, Mario was not aware of the friendship between Reba and I because I know we're on this journey and I didn't want to taint it, so to speak, I guess. But honestly, the closer Mario and I are getting, it's getting more awkward.
In a weird way, that does make sense. If y'all recall, Divine and Chica, when in first episode, they were friends prior to coming on the show. So what that did was allow them to basically have an ally moving forward. Now the difference is, of course, is Chica was a dude, Divine is a woman, so therefore they were looking for two different things. But it's no different than Tandy and Reva being friends. I just don't think either one of them thought that they would fall for the same guy.
This isn't the first time that we've been interested in the same guy, but the last guy was actually my guy at the time. She put hard eyes under his pictures, so I said something to her, and after that, she unfollowed him, and so we just moved on from there.
I don't know what to say to that one. I'm okay. Well,
I'm glad y'all came out and y'all was able to, you know, enjoy yourself, and I was able to learn more things about myself.
Nail polish.
Yeah.
Girl,
Blue nail.
no blue.
overall, I believe that Tandy meeting Mario's ex is going to help him in the long run. If there is a long run, but it's going to be helpful.
Courtney is literally like a very close to a female version of myself, but we just missed our moment and it turned into a friendship from there.
I've said that every conversation is not a connection, and every relationship doesn't end in marriage. People come into our lives for a reason, and once that season ends, it ends. However, I don't know what it is, but there's just something about those two that's got my spidey sense tingling. I can't put my finger on it, but I don't know. There's just something there.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just walk in, or they'll just leave the house.
I know he knows how I feel about dogs.
All right, come in the house.
I'm creepy with this big ass dog.
I'm just not with it. Big ass labs.
Okay. Once again, what kind of conversations are they having? It's like if Jack and Jill, his dogs, are such a big part of his life, how is it that Ashima doesn't know this? Think about it. I want to say it's the previous, maybe the last episode before that, Darren knows what her favorite drink is, or, he knows those little details about her, but she doesn't know, or at least the grand scheme of things, how the dogs fit into his life. And it doesn't make sense to me, because if those dogs are that important to him, if they talk on the phone, if they text, if they send up smoke signals, it doesn't matter. If they're communicating and she wants to be a part of his life, how does she not know about something as big as the dogs are in his life? It doesn't make sense to me.
All right, Courtney, this is Ashima.
Nice to meet you.
And you can come in and have a seat right here between us.
Okay. We can't put the dogs up.
There's really no up. I don't know where I would put them.
They don't have a room or nothing?
Nah, they ain't got their own room. The rooms are pretty much reserved for humans.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, a lot just happened in that moment. Compare that very formal handshake that Ashima gave Courtney compared to the hug that, what's her name, Latasha gave Tandy at their meeting. Also, notice how comfortable Courtney is when she sat on the couch. And, and also she's there, she's very friendly with the dogs. It's a very weird dynamic. It almost seems as if Ashima was interrupting them or their harmony. It's very weird to watch. It seems like Ashima is the intruder into their space, because Courtney's there, she's comfortable, and Ashima just doesn't seem to fit. It's really weird.
You're scared of dogs for real?
I am. It's actually giving me anxiety just sitting here. Is there anywhere else they can go besides right here in my face?
Yeah. They'll just be barking the whole time if I put them anywhere. I don't want to.
Darren has a 5-bedroom house, and I'm like, why the dogs ain't got a room?
That whole interaction and Darren just really came across as cold. He didn't, and by that I mean he didn't seem to be accommodating at all to Ashima's discomfort. Now, if she's telling you that, hey man, the dogs in my face is making me uncomfortable, it's giving me a little anxiety, and then for him to have a 5-bedroom house, if you know that you're going to have people coming over that are in any way uncomfortable with your dogs, I get it, they're a part of your family. Like he said, whether his dogs and his son are a part of his family, I understand that. But if things take off, they take off slowly. You don't jump in a plane and it just automatically goes in the air. Things have to go up. Conversations have to be had. However, in a 5-bedroom home for this one particular meeting, for however long it lasted, Darren could have said, hey, you know what? Jack, Jill, y'all hang out right here. If they're barking, it's a 5-bedroom house. They're on the other side of the damn house. It's not like they're going to be right next to them. He could have made some more accommodations. And like I said, he just seemed to be real cold and said, you be all right.
I know you really like Darren, but how do you really feel about the dogs? Because he is pretty close to the dogs. They're like kids. I think you could really deal with that.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
He probably cheat all he want to because he ain't got to worry about me coming over here with these dogs.
I can see how that could be an issue, though. Like, I mean, you have a real fear. I mean, how long have you had them since they were puppies, right?
7 years, yeah.
So 7.
If y'all remember, a previous episode, Ashima, she was the one that was playing the mediator. Remember where she brought, I forget who it was, but she brought I think it was Mario and Tandy. She brought them together and she sat to one side and allowed those two to work it out. In this case, Courtney is playing the role as the mediator. She has Darren and Ashima, and she's trying to say to Ashima, hey, Darren, these dogs are a very important part of him and his life and his family, and they play a huge part in who he is. So is there anything you can do? That was Ashima's chance, her opportunity to say, you know what, I understand. That's something we can work out. It'll take time. I feel a certain way, but maybe we can come together and work it out. Instead, her response was purely negative. Nah, I can't do that. I don't like dogs. And then she dug in even deeper. Well, I'm from the South and, we raise dogs. No. There's a give and take in every relationship, in every situation within that situation. And that was her opportunity. And quite honestly, she missed it.
So are you in the wellness business as well?
Yeah, I'm a physical therapist.
Okay.
We're in the same industry, actually. She came to my office recently. We were thinking about getting a contract together.
Okay. That just kind of just threw me off a little bit. They can't be business partners, not if he's my man. Never missed a business with the pleasure. Do you still like Darren?
Wait, what? Nah.
She doesn't know the scope of the situation. She doesn't have any details, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the editing. I don't know. Her instincts about Courtney and Darren may be right. However, if taking it out of the reality show rubric, let's just say you have a situation like that. Get the information first, especially if you're just meeting the person before you just off the rip say no. If you're trying to build with that person, learn before you react.
Call me later.
I will.
Bye, Courtney. Bye.
It may not mean anything, but it's kind of telling to me that Courtney was there when Ashima got there, and Courtney was there when Ashima left. Also, I don't recall seeing Ashima giving Darren a hug. She gave Courtney a hug, but Ashima didn't hug Darren. So I don't know, something about that. It's a lot that happened at that meeting with Courtney, Darren, and Ashima.
I think I found someone.
Really?
I'm serious.
Oh, that's
Yes,
cool.
her name is Alexis, and she's going to join us.
Hello.
We went out.
Hey, girl.
How you doing?
Look at you. Look good.
It's good to see you. All right, you look fabulous.
How are you?
Alexis, this is Tina.
Tina.
Tina, this is
I'm
Alexis.
doing well.
Nice to meet you.
We were
nice to meet you
just
also.
talking about you. But have a seat.
So, what did I miss?
Alexis and Carrie. That is one I'm still trying to figure out. Anyway, the look that Tina gave Alexis when she walked in, I really think that she was not expecting Alexis to look the way that she did. And you could tell that she was caught off guard with that. It was kind of funny.
And what about kids?
That's a great question.
Yeah, where are you guys with that?
I've been a great father. That's the proudest accomplishment in my life.
Okay, I had to jump in. He did it again. He's asked a question, and instead of giving an answer, he starts to, it's kind of like somebody apologizing for you feeling the way that you do. I'm sorry you feel that way. Instead of them apologizing for what they did. It sounds good, but they're not really answering the question or giving an appropriate answer. But anyway, back to Carrie.
Been a great father. That's the proudest accomplishment in my life.
Absolutely.
And
I've seen that.
Yeah. How old is your son?
He's 24.
24.
And it's just a matter of finding the right woman. If that's what she wants, I'll be more than happy. I'm open to having kids.
When he was asked about it before, hey, do you want kids? He gave he basically expanded on the pontification of the importance and the relevance of having kids, because in the grand scheme of the elaboration of the solar system, okay, man, he didn't answer the question then.
Wait a minute. I was under the impression that he wanted to have more children. Now he's saying that if I want to have children, he's open to it. Which one is it?
Like Alexis said, he gave the impression of wanting to have kids, but he didn't give the direct answer that he wanted to have kids. It's a huge difference.
It's cool that you're open, but for me, I would rather hear someone say, I would like to have more kids. I want to have more kids.
Yeah, I feel that.
And I think for me, because I'm the only child, I think I want to have a bigger family.
Alexis puts exactly how she feels and what she wants on the table, so there's no misunderstanding. So as she was talking about kids, Tina wasn't looking at Alexis, she was looking at Carrie, because being that Tina was in a relationship with Carrie, I think she knows what we already know, is that Carrie don't want no kids. That's fine. Also, think about the conversations that Carrie has had with Alexis. He's talking about traveling and doing things like that. He's not talking about having kids, because I believe that he wants his next wife. He wants to spend life with that person, not bring in a new life with that person. So they're on two different paths.
Let me see what you guys actually, the connection that you have. Give her a kiss.
Oh my God. I told her that lipstick looked good.
I know.
Right, I don't want to get all over his face.
I want to kiss.
The hell? Yo, I've done some stuff. I've been around the block a few times, and I've gotten into some... all right, we ain't gonna go into all that. But that had to be some of the weirdest... Ain't nobody gonna tell me that was just plain out weird. Also, Alexis looked at Carrie and was like, yo, what the hell is this? And instead of Carrie being like, no, we ain't gonna do that, he played into that. And you can tell that just the look on Alexis's face, not only was she like not feeling that, but she lost a lot of respect.
Give me a kiss on the cheek. I think we brought her out of her comfort zone.
No, you don't. That's why I put you in charge.
I don't usually kiss on demand by direction of another woman. It felt really uncomfortable, and I don't know. I just felt like once that happened, those sparks that most women feel, the jitters, the butterflies in your stomach, just wasn't there.
That was a strange date, to say the least. I don't know if that was on some kink stuff or I don't know. It was just weird. But a man is supposed to protect his woman, and I really think that Carrie missed an opportunity right there to do so.
After my date with Ashima, I just have some significant concerns. I mean, hey, the field's narrow. What was down is now up. You know what I mean? So Tondi and I are going on a date. She was kind of in the interest zone from day one, but I've not had a chance to explore anything with Tondi. How you doing?
What up, though?
What up, though?
Hey, love. Oh, good to see you.
I can honestly say that I'm not upset with either one of them exploring their options. Once again, that's the premise of the show. You're supposed to be dating. You're supposed to be pursuing and going on different dates in order to follow the journey to love. Also, both Darren and Tondi did not have the best experiences when they, with the meeting of the ex, when Tandy met Mario's ex, it wasn't as bad as when Ashima met Darren's ex. However, the journey is not over. So that's why you date other people and you try to figure things out. So quite honestly, I'm not upset with either one of them. Is it a bit shady? Yeah, but I'm not upset.
Ashima definitely comes to mind when it comes to Darren, but the purpose of this journey is to get to know others, even if you can come out of the journey with friendships.
Think about it. Darren is, he maintains a friendship with Courtney, and I still believe that Tandy is Team Mario. So it's not like she's gonna just jump ship. I just don't see that happening. So her dating and and even maintaining a friendship with Darren, it's not that bad a thing. I don't see an issue with it.
Oh, let me ask you a question.
Please.
That pivot, though, boy, she turned that conversation quick.
Describe your favorite color with just 3 words.
Warmth, vibrance, and compassion, I guess.
Sounds like it's like a brown or maybe something like that.
Yeah, that's close enough.
So the 3 words that you describe your favorite color describes you.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yo, that's an interesting exercise. So what are your colors? What are your 3 words? Mine are warmth, depth, and vibrancy. Let me know in the comments section. Oh yeah, my color is green, by the way. So I definitely want to know what yours are.
My first impression when I met you, I was like, this girl's sexy as hell, but with a mind though. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
You're definitely somebody that I have to get to know better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I would really love that.
Really?
I'm looking forward to that. Mario got all this second options and all this stuff going on, honey. Okay, whatever. You know what? Darren went up a notch. We might be on to something here, okay?
Not all conversations are connections. Yes, they're vibing. It was a great, conversation, great date. However, I just got the vibe. It was like almost like a rebound type date thing. It just, I don't know. It just didn't seem to be as organic as, their other connections, like, Mario with Tandy and Darren with Ashima. It just didn't have the same feel to it.
Y'all look cute together. Oh, thank you. Ooh.
God damn, the snark level's on 1,000 and Alexis ain't even sat down yet. I'm not sure if Osley, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, was actually just teasing Mario or was really going after Alexis. But man, as soon as she sat down, they got into it basically.
Do y'all still keep in contact now?
We do, and we have a great relationship as well.
Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
You do?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah?
But it should be cool, because look, you two are cool.
This is just way too much to even try to unpack. You got 2 women who are just built for the fight, and pretty much they nastily got into it.
And I know he values family a lot.
Yeah.
So what if something like that happened to him? Are you just like, deuces, I'm out?
Yeah. You're a little feisty.
I'm a Leo.
Little bit. You're a Leo.
I'm a Leo.
Okay, I'm a Taurus. I feel like I was being interrogated. She came ready to go blow for blow. She had her boxing gloves on, and Alexis will put her boxing gloves on and go toe-to-toe, round for round with you.
Well, Alexis did say that she used to get into some situations back in the day. I don't know how nice she is with her hands, but she's definitely built, she ain't ran from a fight yet. So, at least a verbal altercation, for lack of a better word. London, he was just sitting back listening because, yeah, don't get in the middle of it, bro, because you ain't going to win that one. Ashley, she's definitely protective of London. I don't think that there's anything deeper than that, but she's definitely protective of London, and I think she's just trying to be a friend in that situation based on how she tried to bring the situation back down and just say, hey, I'm looking out for London. There's really not much, I think, between London and Divine, how she was talking to Alexis.
Trying to make a decision without all the facts is not who I am. And I know it's difficult, to deal with that.
Sure.
I wish I had a magical bullet that I could shoot up in the air and tell you everything's gonna be hunky-dory, everything's gonna be all right. But unfortunately, I don't have that.
Right.
And I'd rather not sell you wolf tickets and tell you something that I don't even know.
London has been true, for the most part, in how he's approached both Divine and Alexis. Now, yes, you go back a couple episodes, he did say that Divine would be the one or something like that. Now, I'm not sure if that was a Freudian slip or if he was just being duplicitous. I'm not sure, but for the most part, you know, he has told Alexis that, yeah, I'm feeling Divine. There are things about her that I like. And then when he's with Divine, he's told her that, yeah, I'm feeling Alexis. There's some things I like with her. So I haven't really seen outside of that one case, and I'm not saying that doesn't matter or, you know, giving him a pass. I'm just saying that based on that, he has been pretty much consistent with that. Hey, I am not choosing one person over the other. He hasn't made a decision yet.
At this point in my journey with London, he has been straddling the fence all of this time. Where does that put me? I decided I need to really explore other options. So I'm going out on a date with Brent. Brent is fine. So I want to see if there's some chemistry or connection.
I said before that I believe that Divine knows which direction London is leaning, or at least she's not going to wait till it gets to that point. So it only makes sense that she explores all of the options available to her, one of those being Brent.
Do you have a type?
I don't have a type.
You don't?
I've
so
dated
if you lined all of your exes up, they're going to look
all
completely
different.
Really?
Every last one of
Do
them.
you have a weight requirement or weight maximum?
One thing I do love, you were able to make me laugh.
Brent moves at his own speed, his own pace, and Divine and Brent, they've had, you know, interactions before. Y'all remember these? Her sense of humor forced the issue or whatever. That definitely disarms him, and that's allowed them, I think, to make, you know, to have the kind of interaction that we're seeing right now.
You were married before, right? How long were you married?
4 years. Compatibility was the issue.
Right.
It was probably some of the worst years of my life.
I'm sorry to hear that. What made you stay for 4 years?
I guess faith, you know what I'm saying? Trying to have faith in a situation that things would turn around. Both my parents have been divorced twice, so I had that in the back of my mind.
You wanted to break the cycle.
I want to break the cycle.
I was actually happy to see Brent opening up. I didn't know he was married before, and that could be a reason why he's a little laid back and a little reserved and so careful in who he chooses.
Yeah, now it starts to make a lot more sense as to why Brett is as deliberate in his dating as he is. There's nothing like being in a loveless marriage or being just not even loveless, but a difficult marriage like that. So it makes sense that he's not trying to just jump out into another situation like that. And also think about it. Divine has actually gotten him to open up and talk. The only other person that I could see that happening was Aisha, but even then, I don't think that she's as deep as Divine is. It's one thing to get that person to talk, it's another thing to get them to keep talking because y'all are giving back and forth. That's where that vibe comes from. And that's the difference in that we see now, in that Brent is able to open up because Divine is giving him something, or someone I should say, to open up to.
So, I remember you telling me you do a lot of martial arts.
Yes, maybe you should come do a class with me one day.
I would love to. What type of moves would you be interested in showing me?
Definitely close contact.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close range. If you're backed against the, wall in the corner or something like that.
Oh, up against the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. Like you go from behind too, right?
I can attack from behind. I can attack straight on, from the side. What do you think about that?
I need some water.
There is something about a good sense of humor and also some innuendo, you gotta have that allows a person to break down the walls that the person that they're dating has. And Divine, Lord knows she's got a sense of humor. Because of that, and she lives up to her name, Divine. She's able to divine what it takes to cause that other person to open up, whether it's London, because remember, she was able to get him talking, and also in this case, Brent. She's able to figure out exactly what it is, and not that she's trying, I'm not saying that she's trying to dig in, but she's able to get them to open up and converse with her and to have, deeper level conversations that maybe the other people on the show have not. Also, kudos to my boy Brent for picking up what she was putting down. That whole kung fu karate, yo, I like that. Good stuff.
So yes.
Okay. He's very laid back. I like my man a little bit more aggressive.
When Brent is with me, his energy is upbeat. He seems very happy. I can't help if he's with Alexis and he's kind of down in the dumps. That's the energy she brings to him.
First of all, I love Divine's petty. She's serious with it. Also, I was really curious as to why Alexis spoke up in that moment, because that was definitely a case of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. In other words, if Brent is taking Divine's attention away from London, that pretty much leaves London's attention focused on Alexis, which you would think that's what she wants. However, we know that Alexis knows how to play the game. So for her to step in and interject in that moment, that lets me know that there's some kind of move that Alexis is making. She doesn't just do something just for the hell of it. If she makes a move, it's calculated. So I want to see exactly what that move was for. Also, if you peep the previews for next episode, you kind of see some things falling into place as well. So that was a very telling comment because it just didn't come out of nowhere. There's a reason for that. And I think we're going to see the reason as to why she said something about Brent next episode.
He keeps saying, I'm going to show you my actions. I'm going to do this, but I ain't seen it, so I don't know. So apparently, Tandy got to meet Mario's ex, and that's confusing me, honestly. I should have been the one to meet her. If he doesn't swing soon, he's going to strike out.
Well, with Reva, actions do speak louder than words, and keep in mind that Mario has asked Reva to come out, open up, to do certain things, and therefore her lack of opening up has basically let Mario show, you know what? Okay, I want my ex to meet Tandy, which speaks volumes as far as who he's interested in.
Darren did text me saying that he hoped with him and I can get another date.
He did.
Shima, this is your first time hearing this.
Yes. It's just a big red flag. That's just breaking the straight up girl code. But I don't never let nobody see me sweat. Even if I do have a problem with something that a lady says about my Darren, I'm going to address it to him. I'm not going to say anything to her.
Again, the premise of the show is that you're dating multiple people. There is no girl code. There is no guy code. It is what it is. You're dating 1, 2, hell, 3 people if there are 3 people that there's a mutual attraction to. Or it could just be one. If you want to narrow your scope and focus on one person, that's on you. But don't get mad at the other person because they are doing exactly what the show says, which is date multiple people on your journey to find love.
We got 5 men on our journey, and now it's time to bring that number down to 4.
Well, somebody's journey has to come to an end, and tonight it's either going to be Carrie or Darren. It's a little different how they did it in that the people that they met, meaning their ex, in the case of say Ashima and Darren, or Carrie and Alexis. So it's a little different how they did it.
At this point, I feel like Darren is playing it a little safe. I'm not playing it safe. I'm playing it Darren. And I expect for Darren to be playing it Ashima. Period.
I don't think that you're ready to continue on this journey. I wanted to be the one to tell you.
It's all good.
Darren and Ashima had a very contentious ending, but I was not expecting Carrie to go home, especially the way that he did. Now, I am very impressed with how he handled the situation. You know, like you said, Carrie's been a grown-ass man from day one, and he ended his journey just the way he started, like a grown-ass man. I got respect for that. So that leaves us with 4 guys and 5 women. That is going to be a very interesting position going into the next episode. And based on the previews that we saw, They're going up to some kind of cabin in the mountain. So I want to say the North Georgia mountain. So that is going to be a pretty interesting episode. Just based on the previews, you can already see the drama popping off, and I am here for it. Also, be there with me. As you see, follow me on Twitter. I live tweet throughout the entire episode on Saturdays. So, hey, if you got, trust me, it's going to be good. So follow along with me. Also, I do my commercial break recaps on the stuff that we see throughout the show. So once again, y'all, thank you for joining me for this review. Please like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe to my channel. I drop a video once a week after every episode, and I also put out my Markland Mondays relationship conversations as well. So like I said, subscribe to the channel and have a great and safe Thanksgiving and enjoy the rest of your week. Y'all have a good one. Thanks.